What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the week of Weirdos for Hire. We are back again talking all the week's movie. No, not the strangest news stories from around the world, Shaun. No.
Got him again.
I am joined as always by my best pal, Mr. Shaun. Me and Shaun, how's it going?
Good Connor flying it today, personally.
Yeah, so Shaun is in a tired mood, so we are going to have to try and work around that. It seems I'm tired, I did the intro wrong, but if this is your first episode, I'm going to tell you now, you don't have to do anything. Just chill out, right? But
just calm down, lads.
Just chill out. It's normally much more professional. But secondly, if it's your second episode, you can give us a 5 stars, a like, a follow, a share, whatever way you want to support the show on Spotify, on any of your podcast platforms. That'd really help us out. We are extremely close to the 5 stars.
So close.
So close.
One legend could absolutely tip us over.
So if you don't know, this is Weirdos for Hire, or Heroes for Hire presents Weird News. It's the name is whichever one you want. And this is our side show to the main Heroes for Hire podcast. So if you haven't checked that out and you're here, then we'd recommend checking that out. It's about movies and comic books and stuff like that. But we are currently running we want 150 5-star reviews on Spotify before the summer solstice. And we are so ahead of schedule that right now we're very close.
Yes, and we're not going to adjust the goal at all.
No, we're going to take the win.
We're going to take that as an absolute win, rest on our laurels for a while, and ultimately create at least a 4-star show from there on out.
But what might be of interest to people who may have only be coming here for Weird News, Shaun, is the fact that this Saturday coming up, we are having our Patreon listener hangout, which might be of interest to people. So if you're listening to this and you'd like to maybe hang out with us, we do have a Patreon where we do extra movie reviews and extra content over there. And all the patrons are invited to a Google Meet with us for 2 hours next Saturday. Starts at 1:30 Irish time. And all it is we just have a bit of chats. We just talk a bit of shite. And you can talk all about your favourite weird news stories, maybe some funny things you've heard. We can just all have a chat about movies and stuff like that. So if you do want an invite and you are not on the Patreon, all you got to do is send us a message on Blue Sky, on Facebook, on Instagram, on any of your on any of your social media accounts, whatever way, wherever we are. Just send us a message and just maybe let us know that you'd be interested, and we can add your email onto the guest list. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, and it's a fun time. We usually play some kind of game or like ranking system as we're chatting shit with everyone. It's just a good laugh with it, people who all like the same nerdy stuff.
Yeah, and so, Shaun, I think that is enough of the setup, and now it's time to get into some of this week's weirdest news stories. So, obviously, Shaun, have you seen these weird news stories, or what's the deal here?
No, Connor, because as you well know, the premise of this show is that you have spent the week gathering all the weirdest news stories from around the world. You're about to read them all out to me, a man who is too sleepy to look at any weird news.
So sleepy, you're the sleepiest boy I've ever seen you.
I'm EP. I could snooze for reals right now.
Is this another Craven?
No, it's not going to. I'll never do another Craven in my life, despite the fact that I did Craven 3 times.
He did do Craven 3. That's a deep cut for any long-term listeners who know what we're talking about when we mention Craven. So, Shaun, we are starting off. I know you're a sleepy boy, but I'm starting off this week's weird news with a race that I think could be the one for us.
I know exactly what this is. And it's amazing.
The world's first sperm race is to be held in Los Angeles. And Shaun, it was actually already held 3 days ago. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So
we have the results.
You would think I would. But I'm going to leave it up to you, Shaun, to find the results for me.
Well, okay, as a former sperm waste runner myself,
yes,
I'm
so
quite invested in this.
An unusual startup has announced the world's first sperm race. A race involving actual sperm was held last Friday in the Hollywood Palladium in Los Angeles. So, Sperm Racing, a startup founded by a team of young millionaires, oh God, let's all get sick, announced representatives from 2 competing schools, the University of Southern California and the University of California. See, Yeah.
Guys, you could just, whatever differences you might have, surely you could unite under the banner of California.
For California sperm. So they're going to have a race that will take place under a microscopic camera that will track the progress of the sperms as they attempt to cross the finish line. The startup said there will be at least 3 races held to determine the overall winner, and play-by-play commentary will be provided during each heat of the races.
Sorry. They had a full commentary track on this.
Yeah, they had like they cut to the studio. And there's like play-by-play commentary.
I want them doing like they're drawing the paths that they're taking and shit like that.
It's like in the snooker where they're like doing the white lines. They're like, well, if he goes this way, it's going to be, that'll be an easy win if you ask me.
That'll be a big risk, you know. Like, you got to take the inside track on these kind of things.
Inside track in your sperm. How can you have a play-by-play or like an expert panel? Nobody's won this race.
Like, but if this is the first time sperm have been raced, as far as we know, in a professional environment. There could be underground sperm racing.
The amateur game has exploded in recent years.
Jesus Christ. It's exploded everywhere.
Everywhere. Sperm racing isn't just about racing sperm. Oh, God. I'd
say that's 90% of sperm.
Has to be at least 99% of it. So this is the co-founder, Eric Zhu, and he wrote in the Sperm Racing Manifesto that sperm racing isn't just about racing sperm. It's about turning health into a competition. It's about seeing which sperm actually is the best and in trying to improve it.
So the faster your sperm is, the better it is.
I'm not quite sure on the science on that.
Is it like, or would like raw strength come into it at all?
Because I know some absolute morons that have children.
It's true. Anyone's allowed to have kids.
And those kids are also idiots. Like, there's some of the dumbest people in the world are kids.
Connor, I found the results of the sperm race.
Please, I wanted you to be the one to reveal it to us.
The winner was 20-year-old, and this is this man's actual name, Tristan Milker.
He was built for this.
He was born for this.
He's like Anakin Skywalker. He was born sperm Jesus.
He's the chosen one. They're recreating like UFC fucking posters and everything.
Oh my God, yeah. So you have like one guy versus a different guy. But I suppose my question, Shaun, is...
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like it's one that I think everyone's thinking of. How do you keep track of who's who?
I guess giving them identical... Like, I guess... It's got to be 2 separate tracks. You can't
mix and match the tracks.
You can't be mixing the boys in together, like.
That's a different thing.
That's a different thing, and it's a sport in itself.
Yeah. If you're into that, fair fucks to you, but that is a different environment.
My question is, when are the racers brought to the track, for want of a better term? How far in advance? What's the prep time like?
You surely don't turn up with them, do you?
I mean, is it like the starting gun firing? Is that what we're working with?
Actually, now that you mention it, how does that work? Because if it's say like an hour before, right, that like the lads are ready to go, they're warmed up and they're moving. Are they not tired by the time they start the race?
That's the thing.
Comes?
You know, I would class them more as sprinters.
They're mostly sprinters before they die. So it has to be. And look, I don't want to say this sentence, and everyone listening to this doesn't want me to say this sentence. But Shaun, how fresh does it have to be?
This is the thing. And is there a benefit? Like, is there a window where they're like?
So if I turn up on the starting line...
Are they taking all comers, is my question.
Literally.
Connor, please, this is a family programme.
If I'm turning up on the starting line and then I proceed to pull down my trousers and be like, alright, it's time to go, is that better for me, or will that hinder me in the racing if somebody arrives ready to go?
Yeah. And like, is there... Look, I'm on the website and there is tryouts are on offer. We're building a real sport, a real league, a real path to greatness. Train from anywhere. Compete with the best.
I mean, there's a real vibe here that maybe these lads just need to emotionally talk to each other if they're involved in this.
Like, if you have to make up a league,
maybe you just want to get married. Yeah, it's fine.
Or just have a wank with your friends. That's all right as well.
Sit around the big circle if you want. Like, you don't have to make a competition for it. It's fine.
Because what they're doing, what I gather from this, they send you out a kit, and it measures. These are the things. They have 5 aspects of. Oh,
by the way, Brian Johnson, that CEO guy, loving this race. He is all over this.
It's just it's a load of absolute gooners just betting on shit.
Go on, what are the 5 things?
Concentration. Motility.
When you say concentration, I thought
you thought focus.
How focused is the sperm?
Fucking idiot.
I was like, what the fuck?
Gotta get your head in the game, you know.
You only got one opportunity, Sperm.
Would music help? Who knows?
Yeah.
So, motility, progressive motility, which I guess is how far it moves after its initial burst, if you will.
Its initial starting point, yeah.
Motile sperm concentration,
right?
Which is how close they stay together when they move, and then progressive motile sperm concentration. So there's a lot of doubling up here, but it's
I feel like I think they had 2 categories and they spread them out.
We're like 5 will be better. And yes, you'll see your racers live in action. When you're ready, you'll be placed onto the Sperm Racing amateur leaderboards, where we scout the next generation of professional athletes. One day racing sperm could be your full-time career.
I feel like, and this is my conspiracy theory, that I'm gonna go to my dying grave thinking this,
right,
is that a guy from the University of Southern California fell in love with a guy from the University of California, Los Angeles, but they're 2 bros. They're too like, oh man, we're with the bros. I can't be seen as being in love with my best pal from the Southern California University.
This is Southern California, like.
Because it's a Romeo and Juliet story. We're from 2 different families, and it will never work. And then they decided, well, the only way that we could get together is if we create an entire competition based around the projection of sperm.
Which, I admire the hustle. You know, love finds a way.
It's not the only thing finding a way.
Oh, be God. There is this is going to be one, they're selling the kit, which immediately makes me think this is a grift as well.
Oh, 100% a grift, yeah, for idiots.
They're selling you wanking. The freest hobby that's ever existed.
Just go to Google, type boob.
And just fucking have a good
and just
few
go
minutes.
mad. Don't worry about it.
But this is absolutely going to get taken over by the Andrew Tates and the right-wing nut jobs.
Oh, 100%. Like it's going to be ruined. And I think this point, they're still it's going to be ruined. And I think it's even slightly going that way now. But it's just the idea that they're like, this makes us more like this makes us more manly.
Yes. And this is highlighted on their website. Health is a race.
I think, Shaun, that I have never once, and I think maybe I'm in the wrong here, but I have never once looked at another man as a heterosexual male myself that I have thought to myself, Jesus, I wonder how quick his sperm is.
I, on the other hand, it's my first thing. I meet a new person. It's my first port of call. How fast are your boys?
I call him Quickfire Bill. It's my flying size.
Always ready to go.
Oh, it ready. I can't understand why you would even think that. Like, what competition would you be to be like, geez, I hope my sperm is faster than his sperm. Fuck.
But like do you cheer? Like what? And what happens? What happens to the sperm afterwards? Because you've got a prize-winning sperm on your hands.
You've got like a racehorse.
Yeah, you have Secretariat at his peak, and you're just gonna what? Like if
Dude,
this isn't sponsored by Kleenex as well, what are we fucking doing?
Fair enough. I mean. Secondly, yeah, do they take the sperm away and be like, take it to like a sperm donation bank and be like, this is the greatest sperm you will ever find?
It's put into like a gold money in the bank style briefcase, and at any time in your life,
any woman can cash in the briefcase,
cash it in for a fucking specimen.
If you want an absolute legend.
But like what? But does it translate? Like fast sperm? Does that mean good strong?
Does that
kid?
mean better? I'm not quite sure. Sometimes, and I go back to it, Shaun. Some of the fastest people in my school were the biggest idiots you've ever seen in your life, but they're just really quick.
Yeah. Whereas show me the sperm that read Ulysses. You know, that's what I want.
I want the sperm who's competing in poetry competitions.
Yeah, the one with the soul of an artist.
That's a different competition. I don't really know how we run, but I don't know what to do with this. But I know that it's a yearly competition. That I mean, I'm assuming they'll have to turn it into some WWE style event.
Oh, it's got to be like I'm trying to furiously. Royal Combo is all that's coming to my mind.
Royal Combo.
This is a rude episode, by the way.
Like the champion has to be called like White Fury or something.
Oh, 100%. I want entrances. I want. But like, who enters? It's the guy who is.
How do you train?
Sperm. Yeah. Is it better? You know, boxers don't have sex before a fight.
Yeah. Is it better or worse?
Is it better or worse? Like, do you want the boys like firemen always ready to go,
or do you warm them up? Like, you need a bit of practice beforehand. You want them ready to go.
This is it. Yeah. Have they been? They're held back until the very moment.
If this is a situation where they're doing all this to be like, hey, I'm not gay, bro. This is doing the opposite to me. If it's all like the real, like, you know, bros who's like, oh, bro, I'm not gay, man. No, don't worry about. I'm like, you know what would be fucking really madly if we had a competition for sperm.
I'd be like, most of this is talking about. Most of the website is talking about. Hey, sperm racing's fucking awesome. We're making heroes and legends here. This is the sport of kings. And then there's like one paragraph being like, oh, we're doing this to raise awareness of male fertility issues. But also, we put sperm in a box and raced them.
I think they all just need to just fall in love with each other. I think they're going out of their way to not just be romantic with each other. That's just, I don't understand it.
I know, and I think that love is going to get lost in now the business of.
It's the most elaborate love story I've ever heard. Just to go all out of your way to not just marry your friend.
Yeah, to just be like, no, we need a halftime show for this.
It's a t-shirt gun, but it's firing something completely different.
Oh God. So the Heroes for Hire Underground Sperm Racing League will be taking place.
We're starting it up this week.
Everyone meet under the bridge. And
the police show up and they're like, and we're just like, lad, we weren't doing anything illegal. We just said everyone show up under the bridge and bring your sperm.
That's, you know. Well, show me where in the law you're not allowed to do that.
Oh, right there. Oh, right. Sorry.
Oh, right. Okay. No bother at all. Right, boys, pack it up.
Pack it up. Put that back inside your trousers, lad.
Put it back inside.
Okay, we're going to move on, Shaun, to our next piece of news. And this is one of those newer news stories that I feel might take the entire rest of the episode.
Okay.
So I was wary of it. But
if it happens, it happens.
But here's the thing. Anti-Duck Town shoots down plan for giant duck statue.
I mean, it's a bold pitch to install the giant duck statue.
Faced with an invasion of ducks, residents have tried to lure them away with an artificial island, hired professional cleaners to dispose of droppings outside shops, and even discussed a cull. So plans for a 5-foot duck statue, part of a sculpture trail branded Swaffham Goes Quackers, was always likely to trigger deep division. But
I mean, it's like, oh, there's a plague of locusts. Let me build a giant 10-foot tall locust to remind everyone.
So the proposals were ultimately thrown out by one single vote in the meeting of the Norfolk Town's Council, at which members warned that any embrace of the animals risked making them and the town a laughing stock, Shaun. That we can't have that.
I think they could have narrowly avoided something here, actually. I think the very fact it was voted down. Let me cast your mind back, Connor, to the Greeks. Or maybe the Romans, I'm not quite sure.
He's not quite sure. He didn't attack it with a lot of confidence, but go on.
Got 2 words for you, buddy, and it's Trojan duck.
So you're saying you want them to build a giant duck to infiltrate the little ducks and then kill them all?
Yeah, I think the ducks arranged for this proposal to be brought.
Okay.
You're going to ask me how. I don't know.
A good follow-up, not a good answer.
And then they built the big giant duck and they were going to deliver it to the town, but they decided not to accept it. Unbeknownst to them, a blessing, as it's full of waterfowl.
It's full of killer ducks.
No one said they were killers.
Yeah.
They wouldn't. I mean, they're not doctors either, you know.
They're not going to save you.
They're not going to help it anyway.
Councillors feared that the tourist attraction would expose them to ridicule after spending years wanting to get rid of the birds for the mess that they have left on the streets. For half a decade, residents in the Norfolk town have been divided on their web-footed neighbours. The town is meant to have 8,000 people, and amongst that population, Shaun, how many ducks of the 8,000 people?
8,000. Okay, so what would be a ridiculous amount of ducks? 250 ducks.
400 ducks are residing among a population of 8,000 people.
So that's 1 duck per 200 persons.
Yes.
You could take that if it came to it, though.
Well, some families welcomed the birds into their gardens during the COVID lockdown, which is when they started showing up. Shopkeepers were forced to hire professional help to clean up their mess and combat health problems that the ducks brought with them when they moved into the town. At one point, eco-engineers created a giant floating island to try to entice the ducks away from the homes at the Northwell Pool. But the ducks refused to stay on the island, causing some councillors to consider a full-on cull of the ducks.
Don't be killing ducks, lads. Ducks are they're not. They're kind of pricks, but
these ones are going to get stronger though, and every day.
That's true, but like they're not thinking. The ducks want to be in people's back gardens, so just give the ducks a house.
Yeah,
you can fit 400 ducks in a house.
So you're saying you're going to put all 400 ducks into one home?
Yeah, but there's a garden as well with a pond and stuff. They'll be happy. Maybe 2 houses. They can be neighbours.
So you're going to give up 2 houses that you could give to humans to ducks?
Yeah, but there's like, what do you want from me? Do you want me to build another island that they won't use?
The town was even going to get was going to be a recipient of a £2,000 Love Your Market Town grant from the county council.
Pretty good.
For the project featuring the 5-foot duck statue. So they were going to get a grant to cover it, but they still didn't do it because it was going to make them a laughing stock.
So they're so against the idea of just embracing the ducks and being the duck town.
Yeah.
That they're willing to turn down $2,000 over.
Well, I'll be honest with you, it's split families, Shaun. It's split loved ones. There's a brother versus brother have turned on each other on this case.
There's some quacks in the foundation.
There's some That's the best we're going to do here, to be honest. Lindsay Beach, the town's deputy mayor, made the case for the statue and said, "We have got the ducks. They are a unique selling point. I think we would be mad not to exploit this, to be honest with ourselves."
She used the word exploit, did she?
She did.
Interesting. Yeah. I see a terrible thing happening here.
Yeah.
Is that next time this goes to a vote, they take the statue, they become the duck town. Big influx of tourism into the town, ultimately driving the ducks away because it's now too busy and full of people.
That's true, actually. That makes sense.
And then the town has pivoted into being all duck related, and suddenly that dries up. And what do you do?
And then everyone dies.
Then everyone dies.
Hunger.
Except the ducks.
Except for the ducks live forever. Like cockroaches.
Ducks fly to the next town. Do it again.
Ducks fly together. That's all I know from the Mighty Ducks. Graham Edwards, a councillor, replied to Lindsay Beach's idea saying, "Quite frankly, this is an embarrassment. The idea is absolutely ridiculous." And then
lighten up, Graham.
Then Jill Skinner comes in and she reminds the council of their troubled relationship with the birds, questioning why the duck had been chosen. She said, "We used to be a council that was against the ducks and in favour of killing them." Jill comes straight in for the murder.
Jill, you know what? Last name Skinner. Starting to make sense.
She has a pitchfork in her hand as she says this. Steph Cooper, another councillor then, raised concerns that the statue would play into the hands of the ducks.
Steph, I'd like you to elaborate on what the fuck you mean by that.
prompting an opponent to suggest a neighbourhood watch scheme would be implemented to protect it. So
this is such a microcosm of fucking politics, because everyone's just saying shit.
This is small town politics, Shaun, that we are getting involved in because there's a duck statue that isn't being built because the town is being overrun with ducks.
So as a pod, we want the duck statue built. Is that what's going on here?
I'll be honest with you, I don't know where I stand on it. I think it's funnier if we don't come down, but simultaneously, it is quite funny if they had the big duck statue.
I think if they build the statue and things get further out of hand, it just gets funnier. Because any time they're interviewed about it on the news or anything, they'll make them stand in front of the duck statue.
And it just looks like they accepted that what was happening to them.
Our new duck overlords.
It's the new duck overlords that they came in and just got taken over. She said, "Everybody wrecks everything in this town. That's why we are the way we are. If it does get wrecked, which it will, we'll have to pay to fix it." So she suggested the council instead pay homage to a local wicker man or another figure who had actually contributed to the town's history instead of the ducks.
That's a fair point, but your argument... Is this still Jill we're speaking about
This
here?
is Jill, yeah. No, hang on, this is Steph Cooper, this is the one who said the statue would be wrecked.
I canonically loudly sweep my chair across the floor and then turn to face Steph.
Okay.
Steph, your argument...
Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah. No, it's in the local hall. But Steph, your argument is that we shouldn't build anything nice because it's going to get ruined anyway.
Yeah.
And you want to build a fucking wicker man in the roundabout in the centre of town.
Yes.
You're asking it to be lit.
Make it fireproof. Fireproof wicker.
You just want to reinvent wicker now. How is that better than the duck? That's more of an insult. You and Jill are cut from the same dumb cloth.
Speaking after the debate, Mr. Edwards said he was delighted that the plan had been kicked into touch. So Mr. Edwards delighted now the statue's off the board, right? He said the town county council would have looked ridiculous, paying tribute to a bird that has been the centre of so much contention and have ruined so many of the people who live there's days. "I was furious about it," he said. "This would have made the town council a laughing stock. It's lunacy." There was a really angry response about the town council making themselves more stupid than they already are.
This was done on the local town Facebook page, I imagine.
100%, yes.
Yeah, and he just sat awake reading that comment all night.
He said the crazy, stupid idea had prompted looks of disbelief among those attending when it was first raised. Graham Eves, a councillor who was at the meeting, but abstained from voting.
Graham, you could have changed the course of history. You could have died a hero, but you chose to sit on the fence.
He lost by 1 vote. Graham.
How many people are on this council as well?
Seems to like fucking 50 of them.
They keep introducing new characters.
People wondered why we needed a statue of a duck. We are known for ducks in this town. They don't stay where they are supposed to be and go all around the town. Paul Darby, the mayor, said the sculpture would have been something novel for the town and the children to enjoy in the town.
Changed the view of ducks, because it seems like they just... If you, as 8,000 people, can't fucking get 400 ducks in a row, that says more about you.
I'll be honest, the ducks should own that town then. They deserve it. If you can't organise to get rid of only 400 of them.
If they've created enough division in the, up till now, unbreakable... town council.
Yeah.
Then the ducks deserve to have it.
So, Paul Darby then said, of the duck population, some people love them and some people hate them. But he insisted there was never any move to cull them because the county council, or the council's power, it was not within the council's power to do the culling. So, it's out of their hands. That's the feds. They don't deal with that.
Yeah. No, that's above my pay grade, he says. Would you like to play the game of what is the natural predator?
I mean, Shaun, here's the thing, right? This was the ending line. While the project is not moving forward, they are exploring other ideas to enhance the community. So, Shaun, this happened this week. This town has turned down the duck statue. So you have a massive problem here in that there's a rivalry. You have the people of the town. Some of them love the ducks. Some of them sick of the ducks. And on the other side, you have the ducks. Okay? Now, some of the town want to embrace the ducks as a tourist attraction, and some of them want to kill all of the ducks because they're ruining their lives, and I assume killed all of their family members and all of their loved ones. So
light stuff.
Just light stuff. And so I don't know where we go here because this is tearing this town apart, and I've come to you to try and mend the town and put it back together.
Well, we've got a couple of options as far as I see it. So some people like the ducks.
Yeah.
And they like ducks being representative of the town. What if set up a rubber duck factory? But, critically, close to the original habitat of the ducks. So it kills off some of the ducks just from land pollution.
So you're saying just raw sewage and maybe some sort of things that come out of the factory?
Yeah, whatever comes out of a rubber duck factory. Like rubber eggs, I guess. Rubber feathers.
You're saying contaminate the land?
Just some of it.
Yeah,
some of it will be left fine.
Some of it, yeah.
Or get really into get people into carving wooden ducks that they use for like lures and stuff like that, and start placing them around the town. And then you're famous for the wooden ducks. Then when you eventually get rid of the ducks by introducing, I don't know, foxes, then you still are the duck town.
Yeah.
But you don't have to deal with the ongoing duck issues.
I think embracing the ducks is the only way to go here. I think you've got to take ownership of the ducks, because otherwise you're living in fear of the ducks. You live every day. It's never going to get any better.
Yeah, it's way more embarrassing to be the town that can't deal with the ducks. But if you're the town that allows the ducks around... It's way more embarrassing to be the town
that's too afraid to put up the statue of the duck, because ducks are taking over.
Yeah, you think the ducks will make you look bad, but it's like you surrendered.
Yeah, you're Switzerland here. Like you're making yourselves look bad, lads.
Yeah, what's happened? Like there's some bird shit in places. Hire more street cleaners and such. I
think I go with you, Shaun. Chernobyl needs to happen to these ducks, and how you do that is
Pripyat, this Norfolk town.
I think you need to build some sort of nuclear reactor, but only for the ducks, just to kill them.
Yes, I wonder, are ducks susceptible to any form of radiation? They're probably susceptible to most forms of radiation, actually, now I say it out loud. But is there one that only targets ducks?
That's a question nobody's ever asked before. I think we've come across one where... Sorry, David Attenborough, we have a question. You go to like a Q&A. He's like 98 years old and he's like kind enough to give us his time. And we're just like, sorry, David, we just have a question. Is there any type of radiation that would only kill a duck but is safe for humans?
That's what gives him a heart attack.
We kill David Attenborough.
He'd rather die than entertain the idea.
He doesn't want to live in a world where we're in it. He's like, oh, fuck this.
And then, look, if you're on the side of, hey, I want things to stay as they are, I want more ducks, you have to like lie and be like, okay, we can introduce an animal to get rid of the ducks, but it has to be a skunk. And then you have a load of skunks running about town.
Yeah, that's worse.
That's way worse than ducks. So it's not as bad as it could be.
I think you got to bring in one fox and see how many the one fox takes out.
Yeah. Like a fox can kill infinite ducks, I would say.
I'd say it's going to get tired eventually. They might overrun him.
You ever seen... But a dog eats food. The same food every day and he's happy.
I mean, it's like... He might attack one duck and then 50 ducks jump on top of him. It's game over for the fox.
True, but I think... But ducks are cowards. I don't think they're going to attack a fox.
Yeah, that's
true. Even in greater numbers.
Yeah, okay. So we're saying the town needs to build a duck statue, but they need to build it in memory of the ducks because you've got to bring in a fox to kill all the ducks. Yeah.
And then once all the ducks are gone, then you build a fox statue.
To the hero.
To the first of his name.
I think you need to build some sort of fox like bat signal, but just for the fox.
Wait, how much agency do you think the fox has in this?
I'm thinking the fox should become some sort of superhero towards the town.
We give him a little mask, then we're just back to raccoons.
Yeah, that's true. But if we just build a town where that, like, whenever the ducks are hassling anyone, the fox shows up.
True. What about a wisecracking bunny?
Wisecracker, yeah, okay, I can see that.
And then a kind of goofy hunter who alternates between the two.
This idea is tearing the town apart. I don't think we're going to allow us on the council.
I think we'd be some new blood, frankly. Everyone seems way too comfortable in their positions.
Sorry, Jill Skinner, can we just say we hope that we build a radiation that kills all the ducks and you? Just to let you know.
So I'm starting my research on that in between prepping for the upcoming sperm race, of course.
I have 2 tabs open.
My cookies are fucked, aren't they?
Shaun, I think we're going to leave it there. I did 2 big stories this week.
2 big ones.
2 big ones, and so we might leave weird news at that.
That's fair. I will take us out. Connor, thank you everyone for listening to this episode of Weirdos for Hire. We will be back on Friday. We'll have an episode of Hero or Zero. And next Monday we will also have an episode of this show and the movie show as well. So do check those out. If you want to support us, patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast is the best place to do that. You get movie reviews, you get the invite to the live streams, all kinds of stuff over there. There is also the merch store, heroesforhire.ie/shop. Twitter is @HeroesForHirePod, the 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Detective Divilment's discussion group. Instagram is Heroes for Hire Podcast. And the best way to ever help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just one, please.
I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. So I've been Connor Nolan.
I've been Shaun Meighan.
I shall see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.